And when we went through that process, and he was delighted because he was like, actually, the talent pool that I'm looking at is now infinitely wider than it was when I was looking for someone who went to a very specific university, could use a very specific database, and all that kind of stuff. So I think we talked about this kind of last week. The sort of the cultural norms about how people think about work and recruitment are changing, and I think this is a really good example of that. And I wish anyone who's looking for a new career this year the best of luck. And I hope that recruiters and hiring managers are open-minded, and technology can help as well. Speaking of technology, let's move on to the next one. Could that hire be a deep fake? I need a drink before I get into this one. These pros say the risk's growing. Now, this is a really interesting article, because the angle it takes, it's talking about AI-powered social engineering attacks. If you don't know what that is, it's basically cybercrime. It's people convincing a company that they're someone else, to get into systems, to hack systems, to steal data, those kind of things. So the examples that they used in this article, apparently last May, someone built a deep kind of video fake of the CEO of a big advertising agency. I managed to get into a Teams call, pretending to be that person. And also it quotes an example of someone who was hired and wasn't who they said they were. And that access allowed them to kind of install malware into the company system. Now, the really interesting stat here is, I don't know if you've seen, everyone looking, have you come across these deep fakes? Have you seen, how good some of these videos now are? Basically, 57% of people who were surveyed for this article said that they could spot a deep fake. There was no fooling them. Doesn't matter. I can see this. I can see through this technology. Nothing gets past me. However, in practice, actually fewer than 25% could actually spot a high quality deep fake. So we're talking about a kind of a quantum shift in technology here. And this article is kind of aimed at the HR profession, because HR obviously has lots of highly sensitive personal data and those kind of things. And it's just that awareness of those kind of attacks. But to kind of broaden it out, really, I think this is very applicable for HR, and it's also very applicable for talent acquisition, being that kind of like public facing part of the business. And I think there's a couple of things here that I would pick up on. The first one is the need for better cyber skills. So, we're talking about a whole new ball game here. And, your perception of what's fake and what's not fake is probably not up to date. So I think that there's a real case for, proper cyber skills development, across the businesses, but maybe particularly within HR, within talent, within all those places. So I think that's absolutely critical. And then the other part of it is, obviously, this kind of weighs into the whole, are people who are using AI in the recruitment process, are they cheating? And I think that we need to have this clear delineation, which we don't have, between using AI to augment your powers, just using it as a tool, cheating, and fraud. This is obviously on the fraud end of things, and it's quite clear, but I don't think we've actually kind of we've really got a sense of how that kind of all fits together and what those kind of other two things are.